Guys, welcome back to Coding World. Today in this tutorial, we are going to see how to set up code repository on AWS. We have started one new series on AWS where as a full stack developer, what are the services I can use? On that we will be going to see a few videos and I will be keeping that on my YouTube channel. So let's start with the creating first step, that is creating a code repository on AWS. So for that, like, you have to log in with your account. So I have created my account, and to that account I have login. If you are not created your account, I have created one more video which will show how to create account on AWS. So once you create the account and pay the initial payment, you will be land on the free tier account. Okay, so here some limitation will be there on usage and price, so that, like, let's use this free tier account for learning purpose. So I'm on a home page, like, I have to search for a code repository. So that for that, like, Amazon is providing a code commit as a service. So if you click on code commit, you will be landing on this page where you will be seeing all your repositories. So currently we don't have a repository, so let's create a repository. So let coding world a repo. Okay, so description I'm not giving, I'm not adding any other information. I'm just giving the name. Tag is user to manage the services or things with a specific tag, so I'm not giving that for now. So let's click on create repository. So here it is asking like http, then like how to access. Now you have created this code repository, but to access this or like use this repository, how you will use that. For that, it is telling like these two prerequisites. Like, first is prerequisite, you have to install AWS CLI, or you have to install Git on your local, through which you can close the repository post access. Okay, now set up a AWS CLI credential provider. This is another way, like, to access this you have to pass a username password. So for that we will be creating a separate user and we will be using cloning and pulling and pushing the code into this repository. We have to create one user. Okay, so let me duplicate my AWS services. So like here, like if you click on users, so it will be showing you IAM role. Okay, so this IAM feature, AIM, will help you to access, like, manage the security on your AWS resources. So you can create a user, you can assign, you can create a groups, you can create roles, policies, and to that we can policies is equivalent to the roles. So those policies you can attach to the user also, or you can attach to the group also. So in a organization, or like where you are using this account for your organization, in that case giving roles to individual person will be a like a, and it will be time consuming. So people will be creating a group, and that group, to that group they will be giving the policies, they will be assigning policies, they will be assigning access. And whenever the new user or any previous user you want to provide the access, you will be aligning that user to that group. Okay, so let's create a first with the first step. Like here we are creating only one user, that's why we are adding the roles and policies directly to that user. So I am creating user, let's say coding world. Okay, add user to group, copy permissions, attach policy directly. Okay, so I'm creating like attaching the policy directly. So I'm providing administration access. You can, uh, if you want to restrict that user, then you only provide those services access to that user and restrict the administration access. So for me, like, I am giving that administration access, or you can check the code commit related policy. Okay, so code commit full access also you can give. Okay, so currently I am giving administrator access. Now I am clicking. Okay, so here like if you want to add the tag, you can add, or you can directly create the user. Okay, so if you click here, all information will be here. Okay, policy name, permission. Now, so like if you create this user, for this user you have not created username password. It is like just created the username and like but you don't have a password. So for that, like let's click on security credentials. Okay, and here it will be like a, if you scroll down, WSS keys, then HTTP git credential for your AWS code commit. Okay, now you can create. So I am downloading that credentials and I am copying this username and password. This is my username. I am closing this. Okay, now this I have created user, and for that user I have created the username password. Okay, which will be used to access your code commit. Okay, now let's go back to our code repository. Now here I am going to click clone http. Okay, I am opening my, let me increase the font. Let's clone this repository on your system. So I am going to paste it. So if I click here, it will be asking me username password. With the previous username password which is stored in my in keychain, I'm not able to access this. So I'm going to open keychain and I'm going to delete that username password. So I'm going to delete my previous AWS username password for code commit, and let's try once again. Okay, so I'm going to clone this repository. Now this time it is asking me username, so that username I will be giving whatever the new username which I have created. Okay, so now it is asking me password, so I'm copying this password, pasting it here. Okay, so we appear to have clone repository, clone empty repository. Yes, we know that because there is nothing in this code repository. Okay, so coding, uh, let me go to that repository. Okay, here I will be creating one directory. Then okay, let's create a file only. So okay, so I have created my initial.txt file. In that file, let's add something. Okay, so testing. Now if you see, we have one file in our repository. Okay, so let's check the status. I have checked the status. There is one untracked file. This is initial.txt. Let's use git add hyphen all, which will be adding all our file. Then we will be doing the commit, initial commit. Okay, and I am going to push the changes. Super. Yes, it is success. It has pushed our changes successfully, and the branch will be default branch, master branch. So let's go to the AWS console and check that it has that file or not. Okay, I am going to refresh my screen. Oh, super. So we have our initial.txt file in our code repository. So this is it, guys. Like we have successfully seen how to create the code repository, how to create the user and assign the access to that user to clone the repository or access repository from our local, and we clone that, we added file and push the change into the code repository. So this, like here, like I have did the simple where I have put the only txt file. Now in next tutorial we will be going to create a springboot project, and which we will be pushing into our code repository. Then we will build that and we'll try to deploy. Okay guys, so in this video we see only how to create the repository. Please, if you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and share with your friends. Thank you so much.